Good morning, I'm meteorologist Bo Dotson. We've got an active weather day ahead of us, so let's get right to it. Today's weather is sponsored by Milner & Orr Funeral Home and Cremation Services located in Paducah, Kentucky, Lone Oak, Bardwell, Arlington, and Wickliffe. You can visit them online at milnerandorr.com. We did have quite a bit of rain overnight. The forecast was for 1 to 3 inches of rain to occur in bands, and that's exactly what happened. You can see these bands of white and blue. That represents 1 to 3 inches of rain, even some 4-inch reports over West Tennessee. Let's take a look at radar this morning. We'll put it in motion. You can see the large area of showers and thunderstorms pushing off into Kentucky, central and eastern Kentucky, central eastern Tennessee, moving away from our area. We look back in Arkansas, and another area of showers and thunderstorms is starting to develop, and we're going to keep an eye on this as it moves east-northeast and should develop into our area after 12 o'clock this afternoon. Let's say perhaps between 11:30 and 2 p.m. it should be moving into our area, and it could produce some reports of hail and high winds. We'll have to keep an eye on it. We do have a risk for severe weather today. We're also going to be watching a cold front that will extend from Chicago back into Missouri later this afternoon, and some thunderstorms may develop along that front as well. Now, we've been talking about severe weather over the last couple of days, and the Storm Prediction Center, they're the ones that issue the severe weather outlooks, and they have changed their outlook several times. Let's move back to Wednesday morning. You see they had us in a yellow zone. That represents a slight risk. The orange zone represents a enhanced risk for severe weather. That was issued yesterday morning. Then yesterday afternoon they came out with this outlook, and it showed the enhanced risk had moved up into most of our area with a slight risk around it. Then last night they issued a new outlook, and they changed the enhanced risk and pushed it back south again. So, if you were with me yesterday, I kept telling you don't focus too much on these outlooks. The Storm Prediction Center tends to change them around quite a bit. They did issue a new one at 7 a.m. this morning, and they really didn't change much on it. They'll issue another one around 11:30, and we'll see if they change anything on it again. The bottom line today, whatever they do with their outlook or not, is that we do have a risk for some hail, damaging winds, and maybe even an isolated tornado risk. The tornado risk today isn't great, but the tornado risk isn't small either. We do have at least a risk for a tornado or two to occur. Take a look here at the severe weather outlook, and again, the orange area is enhanced risk zone. That's the higher risk. The yellow is a slight risk, and the green is a marginal risk. Marginal risk means maybe there'll be a severe thunderstorm or two. The slight risk means that severe thunderstorms are likely, but expected to be scattered in nature. And the orange area, the enhanced risk, is the greatest risk for some higher end reports. So let's say large hail, maybe a tornado, frequent lightning, damaging winds. Severe thunderstorms in general produce 58-mile-per-hour winds, 1-inch hail, and or a tornado. That's the definition of a severe thunderstorm. So we'll keep an eye on both the yellow area and the orange area. I wouldn't pay too much attention to the different zones. I always tell people just focus on the forecast, which the forecast is for a couple of severe thunderstorms today. We could have reports of hail, we could have reports of damaging winds, and we could even have a report of a tornado. Let's take a look at a futurecast radar from the HER model. We'll put this in motion, and there's a couple of items that I want you to watch. One is this area that comes out of Arkansas. I'm going to push pause, and this is the area that we currently see on radar, so the model is handling that well. Watch how that moves northeastward into our area between 11 and 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This is 11:30. You can see it expanding into southeast Missouri, northeast Arkansas. We move ahead to 12:30, and you can see it from Illinois back into West Tennessee. We'll have to keep an eye on this area. It could produce some severe weather, although if we have a lot of clouds today, that's going to keep instability down, and that works in our favor against severe weather. So we'll just have to see how fast this moves in. Will the clouds clear ahead of it? Will the clouds clear behind it? How unstable will the atmosphere become? The next thing I want you to watch is this line to our, let me scoot down there. This is the cold front, and a squall line may develop along that front. The Storm Prediction Center may have to issue a tornado or severe thunderstorm watch for Indiana and Illinois early this afternoon and into mid to late afternoon. Whether they issue one for the rest of us, we'll have to just monitor and see what they do on that subject. But the squall line should move in from the northwest and move southeast. You can see it here at 4 o'clock, moving through central Indiana back into southern Illinois. Some strong storms along that line as it moves south and east. Could be some hail, could be some high winds with it. We'll keep an eye on it. You can see here we are. The last time frame, let's go back one more time. This is 6:30, and after the 6:30, that's when this model ends. You can even see a storm in southeast Missouri. These isolated storms are the ones that could produce the large hail as well. So we'll keep an eye on this as this line continues into 7:30, 8:30, and move through Kentucky into Tennessee. We may have some severe weather watches as we move through the day. We'll just have to see what the Storm Prediction Center does on that subject. The bottom line for the forecast today, showers and thunderstorms off and on developing. One area moving in from the southwest and then another area moving in from the northwest. Some of the storms could produce hail and high winds, frequent lightning, heavy downpours, and there is even a risk of a tornado or two in the region today. We'll keep an eye on it. I'll be doing another video around 11:30 or 12 o'clock. We'll monitor and see what the Storm Prediction Center does. We'll keep an eye on the storms coming out of Arkansas. If I need to do a video earlier because of those, I will. So just monitor me on Facebook at Bo Dotson Weather, Twitter Bo Dotson. You can sign up for the text messages at weathertalk.com. I'll be sending out texts today concerning severe weather, and any updates that I post online, I'll also send you a link to those through the texting service. All right, have a nice day.